Welcome to the 2028 NFL Draft. For the third time in about the past decade or so, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock with the number one overall pick. They first went Myles Garrett, then followed that with Baker Mayfield, but this time, not going quarterback or pass rusher, they're going offensive tackle, and that's Levi Falk out of Auburn. The Carolina Panthers followed suit at number 2 overall, going A.J. Hawkins, offensive tackle out of Alabama, widely regarded as a top overall prospect in this year's draft class. He did come back as the highest rated offensive tackle over the 4 years of this franchise, and from picks 3 to 5, the pass rushers started going off the board. At number 3 to Las Vegas was Kentrell Sanborn out of Florida State. At number 4 was Josh Cooper out of Ohio State going to the Los Angeles Chargers. And then at number 5 was DJ Carter out of Clemson going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. All of these guys deemed to be high floor type of guys. None of them came back with hidden development. And then at number 6 overall, finally a non-offensive tackle, non-pass rusher off the board. The first quarterback in this year's class is Deshaun Montague, and how fitting he ends up with the Atlanta Falcons, as he's been deemed to be the next Michael Vick. And then we had to start looking ahead to our pick, as we did have picks 31 and 32 here in the first round this year. Taylor Goddard, one of the last remaining top edge defenders, as they started flying off the board. So we looked to pivot to a trade here with the Green Bay Packers trading up from 32 to 21, and it was not easy to complete that trade up there with Green Bay, but ultimately we had to give up an extra 2, a 3, a 4, and a 3 next year, but they also threw in a 7 for us this year. But it was worth it, as Taylor Goddard came back top 10 in true value with hidden development and came back at 77 overall. So we then looked ahead to pick number 32 here to close out the first round, and we did have a glaring hole at slot corner, so we were looking at guys like Dakota Michaels, Jim Thorpe Award winner out of Texas Tech. There was also Trevor McKee out of San Diego State, a couple other options there to fill that role, but ultimately we went for the eye test here, and Dakota Michaels passed that with flying colors. Another good pick. He came back 11th in true value, so we get the 10th and 11th guys here on this year's draft class, and he also has hidden development. 2 good hits there in the first round. Then we continued to build on the defensive side of the ball here with the last pick in the second round, as we drafted Randy Fisher, defensive tackle out of UCLA. Another hit, as he came back 43rd in true value, got him about 20 spots higher than where he was ranked. A glaring hole at defensive tackle after missing out on guys like Aleem McNeil, Jordan Davis, Deron Payne in free agency, as Fisher, NFL ready with a very high floor. We were then again on the clock here to round out the third round this time, and we sought out another trade, this time completing a deal with the New Orleans Saints, as we picked up a third round pick for next year along with 185 overall this year, but we're hoping that third round pick next year is an early one, as we do project them to be one of the bottom teams in the NFL. Teams find their identity early on in the NFL draft, but the foundation is built on day 3. Click the link in the description for the full NFL draft episode and see who we select with 5 selections on day 3, as well as a trade.